Hello, I'm Super Orange Cat here today with the Toonami ratings update from this past Saturday, June 18th, 2022. Let's start at the top of the block. At the top of the block, we have Primal at a .10, Lupin the Third at a .07, One Piece at a .05, followed by another episode at a .05, Naruto Shippuden at a .04, followed by another episode at .04, Shenmue at a .04, and Attack on Titan at a .05. It goes without saying that this was a pretty disappointing week for Toonami. This is actually not the lowest lead-in of all time, though. Some people I think have been trying to say that. We had some episodes of Blade Runner Black Lotus that actually opened up worse than Primal did. So, again, and that kind of just goes to show how poorly received, at least in terms of how much people wanted to see Blade Runner Black Lotus, that Primal had its worst week on Toonami, and it's still getting better numbers than half the show got. But again, and it's just this thing to see here again, and it's hard to put much weight into this week. I know I've said that a lot, but again, it just went down 700ths week after week with seemingly no real reason why Primal would drop this much. Some people attest it to, well, Assassination Classroom isn't after it anymore. I don't see how that would impact Primal's ratings. Maybe something like people tuned in at like 12:30 expecting to see Assassination Classroom, but only seeing Lupin the Third, tuning off there. I can see that, but it only dropped 1/100th. Admittedly, you have to account also for a 30-minute slot going up 30 minutes earlier, which should have increased the ratings for Lupin the Third. But still, ultimately, I don't think you could pin all this on Lupin the Third. And the shows after that, and people are saying, well, this has to be a temporary schedule. There's no way we're going to have double up One Piece, double up Naruto every week. I think someone already looked ahead at Adult Swim's setup schedule for this week, and they see again that Naruto Shippuden is slated for back-to-back episodes. So at the very least, next week we're going to have the exact same schedule. And like I said, I think this is the strategy right now for Toonami, is a nice cost-cutting measure of taking the long runners in One Piece and Naruto Shippuden and doubling them up, so you don't have to spend as much money on getting other licenses. And right now, again, you have Primal leading off the block, that's free. Shenmue, that's your own property, you're not paying money for that. So really right now, you're just paying money for Lupin the Third. You're getting, well, two for the price of one, basically, for One Piece and Naruto Shippuden. So whatever much they paid for those from Toei and Viz Media, they're getting their money's worth out of it. And Attack on Titan, whatever, they have to pay for that. But again, like I said, Attack on Titan, they had that weird setup where they actually get first dub rights ahead of Funimation for that. So the deal probably was kind of cushy on Toonami's end too. So this is like kind of a low risk setup that Adult Swim that Toonami has here. But again, I can't believe that this was anything other than Primal has been doing exceptionally well to lead off the block. And the fact that this week the schedule's disappointments was based off of Primal almost losing more than a third of its audience week over week. I looked at other things going on this week. I can't see what caused that many people to not watch Primal. I believe game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals was that night, but that game ended, I think, a good hour or so before Primal. So you can't be like, well, people had to choose between live sports and anime. And we have seen numerous times people will choose live sports regardless over Toonami. But I don't think that's the case here. And really, I think this is a wait and see. I think Primal does better next week. I wouldn't be surprised we're back to like a .17, back to, and everything's hunky dory. Maybe with retention issues to Lupin the Third, because that show I don't think meshes well being right after Primal. Lupin the Third is a massive, well-loved property in Japan. It's kind of got a cult status here in the United States. And I feel like there's no way you're going to push, especially on the surface level. You look at Lupin the Third and you see it's called Lupin the Third Part 6, and it's like, well, I'm not going to watch the other 5 parts to watch a certain part of the show, so I'm just not going to tune in. And again, I think that's what Tanami's strategy is right now, to keep up the doubling up One Piece, doubling up Naruto Shippuden, and seeing what maybe cheaper licenses are available. Like, I think they're going to go for cheaper, older licenses that might not necessarily have that much traffic on streaming, or maybe not even streaming right now, and see what they can do there. And I wouldn't be surprised if Toonami does find a diamond in the rough that way. And if you're looking ahead, of course, still this year we get Uzumaki later this year, we get Housing Complex C later this year. And if you're looking well ahead into 2023, we have a whole glut of Toonami originals that we know on Beyond the Block, like 2 more Fully Cooley sequels. And outside of that, we're also gonna get Ninja Kamui and a Rick and Morty anime, which I think a lot of people already forgot about all 4 of those shows already after announcement, but goes without saying, Toonami, not the best of weeks. I think it's a fluke. I think we do better next week. What do you guys think? If you like this content, for more content like this, like and subscribe. I enjoy your input. I read the comments. I am the Super Orange Cat, and that is all.